John area. Station 1, which we're located here at Carmarthen and Leinster Street. Station number 2, which is located on Loch Lomond Road, and again we'll be visiting these stations later in our tour. Station 4 on Courtney Avenue. Station 5 on Adelaide Street. Station 6 located on King Street West. Station 7 on Manchester Avenue. And Station 8 on Milledge Avenue. And essentially our city is divided into two districts, with the uptown and the eastern stations being District 1, and the north end and the west, north end, Milledgeville, and the west stations being District 2. If I could bring your attention to our organizational chart, as you can see we have a chief of the fire department, being Chief Glenn Tate. Again, currently I'm serving as the deputy fire chief, and you can get a little understanding here of our rank structure. And then from there we're divided into two districts. And at any given time, we have two district fire chiefs on duty to respond to the various emergencies. And they essentially serve as incident commanders, where when they respond to an emergency, it is their duty to direct the fire ground operations. So we have a favorable result when we respond and try to mitigate the effects of whether it be fire or emergency medical response and these types of things. And then again, we're broken in. We have a floor platoon system so that our members of our department work 2 days, 2 nights, and 4 days off shift. So at any given time, we are a 24-hour-a-day, 365-day-a-year operation. We also have some specialized divisions within our department. We have a fire prevention division, which is headed up by Divisional Chief Tom White. We also have a training division headed up by Divisional Chief Ron Bashara. And essentially they perform different functions, non-traditional functions, as we think of fire suppression and other activities associated with the fire service. Some of them include code enforcement and public education. We ensure that the various dwellings within our municipality are adhering to the fire codes as established through the Fire Marshal and the Fire Prevention Act. Our training division has just a tremendous amount of work in that they're trying to ensure that all members of our department are maintaining a standard with respect to their performance and the various evolutions that are required as fire service personnel. We have ongoing training on a daily basis. We have yearly training where there is a prescribed text provided at the first of the year. We have a semestered system whereby all on-duty shift personnel are required to meet a specific standard as it relates to various aspects of firefighting. Currently, I believe we're reviewing ventilation and I believe hydraulics, and these are essential components to successful fire ground operations. So again, this just gives us an overview as to how we're structured, and maybe for our listeners they have an understanding of the districts as they relate to the city, and they can also maybe relate to the station which is located within their neighborhood. And again, as we progress through our tour today, I'm sure they'll see some familiar faces and some familiar buildings as we go through our tour. Okay, we're now visiting with station number 2, which is located at the corner of Loch Lomond Road and McAllister Drive. Station 2 was built in 1979. It houses an engine company and a tanker unit. And as I mentioned earlier in our tour, I spoke of the specialized equipment that we require when we're responding to areas beyond the hydrant area here in our city. Obviously, if we get beyond the hydrant district, then we have to ensure that we have tanker units responding so that we have sufficient amounts of water to take appropriate action when fighting fires. Now, this station itself has an on-duty crew of 5 people. We have 4 individuals who are assigned to the engine company. They fill the traditional roles of a company officer, a driver, a senior man, or we refer to as senior man as the senior firefighter on the tail of the unit, as well as a junior firefighter. The standardized complement for any engine company in St. John is a 4-person crew with a company officer, a senior firefighter, junior firefighter, and a driver operator. In the background here you see Engine 2. This is a dual axle unit which carries, I believe, 1,500 gallons of water, as well as has pumping capabilities rather. And this unit is unique in that it carries quite a large volume of water to a fire scene and makes it easier for combating fires. Again, I should point out as we go through our tours today, you're probably going to see a lot more than a standardized crew of 5 here and at other stations, because we have a number of our members who volunteered to accompany the public today on their visits to the station. So we have a number of off-duty personnel as well who are in attendance at the tours today. Maybe we can take a walk inside and I'll explain a little bit about these units. Again, all stations within the City of St. John offer base services, i.e. that they all have specific roles and responsibilities. They have specific equipment that they carry with them. Some of the stations have specialized equipment, such as number 1 station with the Hazardous Materials Response Unit. In Milledgeville, we have an ice rescue unit there that we respond to various areas of the city. I think of case in point of times when the rivers are starting to thaw during the spring of the year. We traditionally have a few individuals who are caught off guard and require rescuing from the ice flows, and we've done that with, I guess, a great degree of success over the years in that. But they would be some of the specific examples I could give you as to some of our specialized services. So we just proceed here into number 2 station. Again, in addition to having an engine company that has a 4-personnel crew, again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week throughout the year, we also have a tanker unit, which is staffed by 1 firefighter whose job it is, again, to ensure that we have sufficient amounts of water to adequately deal with the various fire suppression activities. We happen to have on display here as well, we have a porta-tank, and it's not set up here today, but it kind of gives you an indication of some of the types of equipment that this unit would carry. And again, when you're responding to areas beyond the hydrant zone, you have to ensure that you have adequate supply of water. And in this case here, this is what we refer to as a porta-tank. And what we do is we set up a reservoir, essentially, and as we bring in various tanker trucks, they come in and they do a quick dump of water into this reservoir, and the reservoir will retain this water, and then the engine company or whichever unit is at the fire, located directly at the fire, they'll use this reservoir water to draft water from that to ensure that we have sufficient extinguishing agents. Okay, we're going to continue our tour now at number 4 fire station, which is located on Courtney Avenue in East St. John. And this station also houses the East St. John police station as well. It serves as a combination police-fire station. This station has 4 fire department personnel on duty at all times, a company officer, a senior firefighter, a junior firefighter, and a driver-operator. If he maybe would accompany me here, and I'll show you some of the equipment that is currently housed at this station. Now this unit here is the newest engine company in the St. John Fire Department fleet. It was put into service last year. It's a 1,500 gallon per minute Class A pumper. A number of years ago, I'm sure some of the citizens have noticed that we've gone from the yellow fire apparatus back to our traditional red apparatus with a white roof line on our units. And certainly we found that from experiences that the yellow certainly did not wear as well on our apparatus. With the amount of rain and wet and cold weather we have here in this region of the country, we found that the red was much more conducive to trying to maintain our apparatus fleet. Again, all of these units carry the standardized equipment, and for our viewers that would include things such as Scott air packs for breathing apparatus for being able to gain access into burning buildings. We carry foam on these units so that we can have a quick knockdown if required, some Alcosil foam, which is used for petroleum-based fires. And I should point out that although this station and the crew is located in East St. John, this unit also responds for first alarm responses in the uptown area. As I mentioned earlier in our tour, that a standard response within the St. John, for the St. John Fire Department is 2 engine companies, the rescue squad, a district fire chief, and a ladder company. So when there is a call in the uptown area on the eastern side of Charlotte Street, Engine 1 would respond from uptown, and Engine 4 would respond from this station. So this station just doesn't provide fire coverage to the eastern part of the city. It also provides fire protection to the uptown area as well. It's also worth noting that with respect to